Somebody asked me the other day, they said, hey, what is the best definition of freedom? Because I think we're selling this wrong on Bitcoin. Bitcoin for me offers me true freedom. It's like, freedom to me is the more money I have, assuming I'm psychologically balanced, literally the more money I have, the more freedom I can buy. The thesis of a very rare commodity will play out that one, it'll be the greatest investment opportunity in a lifetime. See, America's lost its ability to control the whole world. I mean, this is a global market now, and people are going to print to survive. I'll make a prediction because I think you're absolutely correct. I don't think it's the smartest money, but it is the most sticky money. I think the thesis of a very rare commodity will play out that one, it'll be the greatest investment opportunity in a lifetime, probably many lifetimes, and for me, it's an accumulation play at this point. I think it really is going to depend on what happens in the next week or so, but you know, all-time highs get punched through, and we're at a not only all-time high, but a market cap all-time high. I think you should really start looking at Bitcoin as a $1.3 trillion asset and just don't even talk about price. We literally get a market cap quote every day on the size of Bitcoin, because I think it's just going to chew through the Googles and the NVIDIAs. I think this is NVIDIA when it was 25 years ago, like literally at the startup of the .com. So, which pretty good indicator what's going to happen. And that's a hardware company. No one would have predicted a hardware company would be trading at $2 trillion. So don't, like for me, and it has monopoly exposure. Bitcoin is a monopoly. So it has no exposure.
In terms of the short-term moves, I'm assuming you didn't sell, you're still accumulating.
Didn't sell any.
And
I've never sold a Bitcoin except to buy a company and then I bought it all back.
So can I jump in and just ask a question then? So I guess the question is, we've just run from 50,000 break of the spot ETF high. Would you buy here, or would you say like wait for a 5,000-10,000 retrace and then buy? Like for you yourself, like are you like scrolling?
It's the only way. It's the only way I think about it. It's the only way I think about it. Is, hey, what am I doing? Right. And that's why I'm actually very few people that talk about trading will say, hey, this is what I'm doing, and I'm not giving you advice. I'm giving myself advice, right. And actually talking about it, really, just the dialogue, going through the what ifs. I've accumulated, I will continue to accumulate. At 67, this does not bother me at all. In fact, I would suggest that $67,000 today is still risk adjusted, better than it was at 15, 25, 30, pre-ETF. And now we know how much volume. Actually today, we know real volume is showing up here, real volume. And I think that volume is just the beginning, the trickle coming through the hose.
Bitcoin has grown into a common tradable asset in thousands of different jurisdictions around the world over the past few years. More investors are turning to Bitcoin to fight global fiat inflation and store wealth for future generations. Whispers have it that Qatar has been secretly stacking Bitcoin. The speculative frontrunners in this speculative scenario include Russia, Saudi Arabia, and Iran. However, recent rumblings now suggest the wealthy Gulf nation of Qatar may have a $3 billion orange-colored skeleton in the closet. How true is this? We really can't say, but this is good for Bitcoin. Let's listen to more of Gary's analysis.
We're getting a lot of intel we would never have gotten 25 years ago on the video. The intel in Bitcoin is fascinating. So yeah, I think this is a great investment for my children.
Both of these assets hitting new record highs on the same day. What do you make of that, Gary?
I mean, look, I think we're going to war. You look at all the charts on everything, like it looks like war charts to me. We have a fake market. Like we just have to admit this is a fake market. It's a monopoly game. You can say we're not releasing funds into the world, but we are indeed releasing large amounts of money. Fiat, currency, we're producing fiat. You can get zero information out of China right now. You think they're not printing? See, America's lost its ability to control the whole world. I mean, this is a global market now, and people are going to print to survive, and they're going to take other actions to survive. And I think gold, I actually thought we were seeing a rotation from some of the old gold guys. I think that's happening. Some of the old 30-year-old gold guys are looking at Bitcoin. Any one of them that have 10 Bitcoin, and for 4 or 5 years, they're starting to look at Bitcoin very differently. It's actually, they're going to look at Bitcoin and go, oh wow, this is what I wanted as gold. Speed, they never had that, right? Transportability, fragmentation capability without 40% premiums, right? I mean, in order for somebody to get one of those little Valkyrie things, it's a 40% premium on gold. So I think people are buying in fear of the market just being at max consumption on a bunch of paper products, things that degrade.
You said we're going to war. Do you mean a real physical war? What do you mean by we're going to war?
Yeah, where people get blown up, like kids die, and then we don't show it on TV. It's happening right now in at least 4 countries I know of. So granted, nobody's talking about it really, but we're at war, and we haven't not been at war for a long time.
When you say we, do you mean the United States?
I believe the United States machinery, equipment, and that is printing. Okay, just because I don't build a tank or send the money to someone, I do a deal through Germany. I go, hey, Germany, I'm going to send you a new T1 tank, but I need you to send Poland your old ones, and then Poland can serve to the Ukrainians. I mean, this is a Ponzi scheme. It's just shuffling nuts so that the senators and the congressmen don't have to say, we actually just created $1 trillion worth of money supply because we made a commitment to give Germany some new tanks. Like, where does this money show up from? Germany can't afford it. Germany absolutely cannot afford this. So we're just moving things around on the chessboard, and sooner or later, this is what gold, silver, and I think Bitcoin was established for. This is why I'm not totally convinced that the S&P could just puke out, and I think it will. And I think short term, you would have a Bitcoin hit. Look, I expect Bitcoin to get traded in the 50s. That's going to happen, man.
Okay.
You know why? Because you got a bunch of idiots trading leverage on the greatest asset in the world, and we have real professional traders getting ready to come in here, and they're going to spank them into left field, and they're going to get blown out, and it's the greatest opportunity in a lifetime. So that's why we're going to have these swings, not because Bitcoin's inferior in any way. It's because the investment thesis right now is a little crazy.
Seeing the developments on the election front, do you still think that there's going to be some kind of disruption or some kind of extraordinary event that makes this election dramatically different from other elections?
Oh, most certainly. If media represent and there's no censorship, it will be an election like no other election. And all elections after this will be different. That's what I believe. I am not convinced we will have an election because of that. Because of the very fact that how bizarre this is getting ready to be. I think we're at civil war in the United States right this moment. The only difference is there's no muskets and there's no dead bodies. The dead bodies are other people in other countries, and we're supplying the weapons and the money. That's why if I ever was interested in politics, one of the first things would be, if we ever set foot on another country or place a weapon there and kill people, it's going to be our own people. And then the moms, the dads, they'll be like, no, dude, we're not doing that. I'm not paying my taxes for this war. My kids are not going there. But because it's other people, it's like watching a movie. And guess what? We don't even get to see the movie anymore.
Well,
We've been censored on the truth of what's actually happening. I don't want to kill 3-year-old kids, okay? I do not want to kill 30-year-old kids or 90-year-old people. It's totally unnecessary.
I have to go back to the statement, Gary, because someone again like you saying that you don't think the election is going to happen or will be derailed. Can you elaborate on that?
When I was on your show, I said, look, the most easiest way to do it would be a cyber attack. And then what? We've had, 3 or 4 cyber attacks? I mean, we've had 3 or 4 incidents.
Gary's perspective on the concept of war revolves around the notion that modern warfare extends beyond traditional physical invasion. and can manifest in various forms, including cyber attacks. He cites the example of the AT&T cyber attack in February 2024, where individuals were suddenly cut off from communication services for hours due to unknown reasons. This incident serves as a stark reminder of the vulnerability of critical infrastructure to cyber threats, highlighting the potential for disruption on a massive scale. The fact that the perpetrators and motives behind such attacks remain shrouded in mystery underscores cyber warfare's complex and elusive nature. In response to these emerging threats, government agencies like the FBI and the Department of Homeland Security have been prompted to issue statements addressing the incident, albeit with limited clarity on the specifics of what transpired. This lack of transparency adds to the uncertainty surrounding cyber attacks and the challenges in attributing responsibility. Overall, Gary's perspective underscores the evolving nature of warfare in the digital age, where cyber attacks pose significant threats to national security and societal stability. As technology continues to advance, understanding and mitigating these risks will be paramount in safeguarding against future incidents of cyber warfare. Let's get back to the video.
AT&T, T-Mobile.
Right.
Notice that you.
Those are the ones we know about.
Notice you never
And then
get
there was
any
Meta
data on it.
apps that were
Oh,
offline for a
yesterday
bit.
for 10 hours, right?
Yeah.
Meta's down.
I mean,
So, come on, man. Like, we're not being told what's happening, okay? There is an absolute war going on. So any public company that said we were out for 12 hours and doesn't report, why? Hello? This is a public company. What's the reason here you were out? Come on, this is not rocket science. But we've gone, man, we're not asking enough questions. We're so re-stimulated over all the social media stuff or what we're watching or what we're not watching.
That's what drives me nuts, is that people get hung up on these small factors that are made into such bigger deals. And then that's my fear, is that there's so much more going on behind the scenes, and we're sitting here arguing about these little things.
Arguing over nothing.
Yeah, and it's I think it's what they want. That's exactly what they want.
Totally. Divide and conquer is the deal. Polarize, okay? That it's better. Hey, we're all polarized. It's actually worse because we're being stimulated to be. We're not just divide. The division and the conquer is, okay, let's stimulate these people so they're so aggressive and angry, and then throw fear. How does fear show up? Not enough money to buy milk for your children. And then you feel ashamed because you're a man, you're supposed to do it, and you're like, I cannot tell you how many people that make $120,000 a year are going, hey man, I just feel like I'm running against a treadmill.
yeah.
All I'm doing is I can't get off. I know that feeling, okay? The only way to get off is to get off the damn treadmill.
One of the points that you made as we're seeing gold hit new all-time highs is that it's been driven by central banks.
And that's one of the reasons why I've been bullish for the last 6 to 12 months on gold, and it hasn't broken out until now, but it's just watching the data come through and trying to see through all this craziness that's been going on in the media and being like, wait a minute, that's the distraction, what's really going on under the base, and that's it. The people that have their finger on the money printer are buying gold. And like, why are they doing that? Think about the ultimate run of, they know what's going to happen. The economy is going to tank. They're going to have to print more. It's going to create more inflation, and they want to back themselves and back what they can with physical gold, silver, rare earths, and eventually Bitcoin. I think there's, and it's even arguably the government, you probably know more about this, but the government may be one of the biggest holders of Bitcoin right now.
I'll make a prediction because I think you're absolutely correct. I don't think it's the smartest money, but it is the most sticky money because it doesn't matter for them, right? I'm going to make a prediction. I've never said this to anyone before, so I'll do it on your show.
I love
Y'all show. Your show.
Our show.
Yeah,
We're all in this
y'all
together,
show.
Gary.
That this year we will have an announcement that a sovereign has already not only put Bitcoin on the balance sheet, but they are continuing to buy just like they are with gold. Because if they're continuing to do this on gold, they're actually looking at the same charts that I looked at out there and go, hey, these are war charts, man. These are absolute war charts, possible depression charts. And I'm a gold buyer, I'm a silver buyer, and I'm going to buy Bitcoin till it makes me bleed. And I think you're going to have a couple of countries, okay? Like, who would be good? Turkey? Turkey is in an absolute great position to be a Bitcoin buyer. Russia's already doing it. Third largest miner, that's already happening. Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Aramco. I mean, Aramco is a country, right? So I mean, this is a game changer here, because they have a new option that I don't think. And where else can they deploy if we're going to war?
Well, it's very interesting that you say this, because we just heard from renowned whistleblower, love him or hate him, Edward Snowden.
Edward Snowden's prediction about Bitcoin potentially replacing gold as a reserve asset comes at a time when governments and institutions worldwide are increasingly recognizing the potential of cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology. This growing interest reflects a broader acknowledgement of the transformative power these technologies hold in various sectors, including finance, governance, and security. Traditionally, gold has been a favored reserve asset for nations due to its perceived stability and intrinsic value. However, Bitcoin presents a compelling alternative. Unlike gold, which is physical and subject to centralized control, Bitcoin operates on a decentralized network, immune to manipulation by any single entity. Moreover, Bitcoin's limited supply, capped at 21 million coins, makes it inherently scarce, similar to gold. This scarcity, combined with increasing demand and adoption, has led many to view Bitcoin as a hedge against inflation and currency devaluation, similar to gold's historical role. This was Edward Snowden's prediction, and Gary just predicted the same thing. If this happens, then the price of Bitcoin will continue to rise.
He has the access to information, and he has come out and said that his prediction, a national government will be revealed this year to have been buying Bitcoin, the modern replacement for monetary gold.
When asked about his views on CBDC, here is what Gary had to say.
Gareth is highlighting an important point, which links to Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, but of course back to the evil central bank digital currency, which, for our viewers that don't know, is a form of fiat that would be issued by a country's central bank. It would be on a blockchain, allowing the government to monitor every single transaction, obliterating any kind of freedom and anonymity and privacy.
Well, this is the real value of self-custody. This is why, people think I'm talking bad about self-custody. I'm not, but I'm not keeping $180 million on a seed phrase, okay? I don't keep $180 million in a bank either, right? You move things around. So if I have, 100 Bitcoin sitting on a wallet and this thing goes to shit, well, I still have the ability. I mean, that's why I'm making all these connections with all these people. I can do a peer-to-peer transaction with Tony Vase. I'll figure out where he is. I mean, there's a lot. That's why the price is so important. Price is so important here, and the speed of price. If we can get this thing to $500,000 to $1 million, everyone will be in this game, and then it's unstoppable. What is the best definition of freedom? Because I think we're selling this wrong on Bitcoin. Bitcoin, for me, offers me true freedom. It's like, freedom to me is the more money I have, assuming I'm psychologically balanced, literally, the more money I have, the more freedom I can buy. And I had to fight for that. I had to fight and work my whole life for that, and I ain't gonna lay down and let somebody take it from me. The question is, are the other people gonna stand up and fight? We have people in prison right now for January the 6th. I'm not sure they really deserve to be there. Those people are heroes. They're suffering. America's a long way away from ever suffering about the freedom we have. We have more freedom than any human being on the planet, and we don't fight very hard for it.
Gary believes that Bitcoin is the ultimate asset to put some control caps on CBDCs, in case people are mandated to use CBDCs. CBDCs means central bank digital currencies. CBDCs are a form of digital currency issued by a country's central bank. They are similar to cryptocurrencies, except that their value is fixed by the central bank and equivalent to the country's fiat currency. More like, you still holding fiat currencies in digital forms. Many countries are developing CBDCs, and some have even implemented them. Because so many countries are researching ways to transition to digital currencies, it's important to understand what they are and what they mean for society. If you enjoy financial content, please subscribe to our channel, like, comment and share the video. Anyway, guys, I hope you all enjoyed today's video and that it provided you with some value. I will see you all at the next one, and as always, all the best.